97.3 Apple FM.
Thank you very much for your call. We really appreciate the fact that you're on here with us. So obviously you're coming to the southwest in August as part of Somerset Rocks, but we'll come to that one in a minute. Firstly, you're not a stranger to this part of the country, are you? The southwest region in general?
No, I went to university in Exeter for 3 years, which was fantastic. I had a great time. I studied politics. Yeah, it was wonderful. Amazing countryside. Quite a small university in terms of a campus university, but it's a lovely city, Exeter.
It's a beautiful city, isn't it? I can relate to it because my girlfriend goes to Exeter University and she studies maths there, and she says it's a great university, very supportive. Reading through your fantastic life story, Will, of course, would you say that your music career was sourced here in the southwest?
Yes, I started singing footlights at uni, so that was musical theatre. That was the first time that I'd done any singing on stage. I hadn't done that before.
Because you moved then to London, didn't you, and studied musical theatre at Arts Education School?
Yeah, I moved, then I got my degree, and then I went up to Chiswick in London and started at Arts for a term. Yeah, and then Pop Idol started sort of properly. Yeah.
Fantastic. And of course, most of our listeners here at Apple FM will no doubt remember how you became a household name by winning Pop Idol in 2002. Now, I've got to tell you, I was 10 years old when that happened, which seems to me like a lifetime ago. Does it feel that way to you as well?
Sort of does in some ways, but not in others. And I think what's so nice is I have sort of these memories that sort of come back from time to time, and I think, oh yeah, I forgot about that, gosh, oh yeah, I forgot that moment. And, it was the most extraordinary experience, and I had such a brilliant time. It gave me a career, and it was like a sort of very long audition process, where my confidence grew every week, and I think to experience that, I was very lucky.
Indeed, and of course since Pop Idol you've gone on to mega stardom, in my opinion anyway, within the UK, selling multi-platinum albums between 2005 and 2011, and with your fourth album, 85% Proof, it went straight to number one last year. I absolutely loved Love Revolution, by the way. What a great song that is. Did you expect to go as big as you have upon winning Pop Idol? Do you expect to go as big as you did?
I don't know. I just sort of, I guess I always wanted to, sing as a career. So, sort of, I suppose linked to that was having success and being a pop star. And I didn't know really, the whole time, I never really knew what was going to happen. It was so new to me. I suppose maybe unlike other jobs, we all might have an idea of what it is to do certain jobs. And with this one, I suppose it's a little bit less universal, in many ways. So, although actually a lot of the things that I do on a day-to-day basis are, the same that everyone else does in terms of for work, having meetings and all that kind of thing, emailing, all the boring stuff.
Yes.
So I sort of didn't know what to expect, but I certainly had hopes. Yeah, I definitely had hopes, and I really just kind of deliberately sort of went from day to day, and kind of still do, just kind of go from day to day.
So it's a case of taking life how it comes?
I think so, yeah. I always want things to do as well as they can do, and also I only have control over things that I can really control. It's like opening up shop every time. I can't force customers to come in to the shop. I can just kind of make it as desirable and as good quality as I can.
Absolutely, inspiring stuff there, Will. So let's go on to Somerset Rocks now, if I may. Of course, this is an event that's taking place in Taunton, here in Vivary Park in Taunton in August. Will, you're obviously taking to the stage on Saturday the 27th of August, is that correct?
Yes, Saturday 27th.
Yes. And yes, do you gig in the southwest a lot, or is this a one-off?
I've done a few over the years. I've done quite a lot in Bristol, and I think I've been down to Tiverton, Taunton before. I can't remember. A few years ago, my first ever solo gig was in Exeter, about 13, 14 years ago for a charity that is no longer around now, but a charity that I worked with when I was at university. So it was kind of pertinent that that my first gig was down there.
That's fantastic. And you mentioned about the charity that you were doing the gig in aid of. Now, Somerset Rocks is, of course, in aid of St Margaret's Hospice in order to raise funds and awareness to the charity. So, Will, you're not a stranger to endorsing a good cause, are you? Tell our listeners about some of the fantastic causes that you have been involved in.
Oh gosh, well, I mean, it's something that I think is a real pleasure. Well, I know it's a real pleasure to do. To sort of highlight charities that are close to my heart, and bring awareness to them as much as I can. And so I work a lot with young people. I've done stuff with Catch 22, a charity we mentor young people. Right back in the day, the Prince's Trust, Pace was a young LGBT charity I was working with, but unfortunately we had to close down. And I'm doing sort of more and more stuff for young LGBT people, just trying to create a better, safer education system for them, and that's a little bit of an uphill struggle, but hopefully we'll be getting there. And the thing is, people are so generous. I mean, I'm always amazed with how people are so generous with their money and their time, and it completely sort of reinvigorates my sort of love of humankind. And I remember doing when I was doing Cabaret the Musical on tour, and there was a hospice I came across, and I said, well, perhaps I could do some fundraising, and I went out after only three performances, and we raised just under £5,000, and it was not really even in, let's say, one of the most stereotypically affluent areas of the UK. So, people are amazing, and I think the combination of giving some money and being entertained is a winning combination. And it sort of seems like a win-win, really.
That's fantastic.
help someone out, and also come and listen to some music.
That's absolutely fantastic. £5,000 is very honourable indeed, Will. That's a really good achievement there. And you're not just a supporter of people, are you? You're also a supporter of wildlife charities as well, if I'm correct.
I did, yeah. I'm a patron of Soy Dog Foundation. We rescue dogs in Asia and get them off the street and neuter them. So they, because a huge problem is just continually more and more puppies going onto the streets, and we try and rehome them. And also we do a lot with the dog meat trade, trying to prevent that, which is a bit of a horrific trade, and the way that the animals are treated is pretty unbearable, really.
Yes.
That's been something I've done over the last few years, and they're amazing. The dogs are amazing. I mean, my gosh, I was out there a few months ago in Phuket in Thailand, and the animals are so happy, and you just see these animals transform. And it's the same as with humans, people just need some kindness, and they become themselves again, and it's just so brilliant to see. The dogs are amazing. I could spend all day in with the dogs.
They're amazing creatures, aren't they? They love you unconditionally as well, is one of the things that I absolutely love about my two dogs, certainly. Yeah,
exactly. And we're such a nation of animal lovers. We do so much for animals, I think, in this country, and it's probably sometimes more than we do for humans.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it certainly seems that way sometimes, doesn't it? Just like one last question before you go, Will, if I may. Post Somerset Rocks, what's on the cards for you? Have you got any tours, singles, or albums on the horizon that may get your fans excited?
And end of this year, no. I'm doing some writing, songwriting, and just sort of potential acting things, which really can happen. Sometimes they happen really slowly, and sometimes they happen super quickly. So it's about kind of clearing the decks for that. So after the summer, that's really what I'll be concentrating on. Yeah.
Fantastic. Will Young, it's been absolutely fantastic and a pleasure to talk to you today. I hope you have a safe journey wherever you're going, and all the best, and we'll hopefully see you on the 27th of August this summer for Somerset Rocks. I'm really looking forward to it. I've got my tickets as well, so I'm definitely going to enjoy the show.
Likewise. Have a great day.
And you. Thank you, Will. Take care, won't you?
Bye.
For the caring community of Taunton.